Well, I would like to welcome all of you. And Arab News would like always to host some our friends, politicians, businessmen, intellectual. We believe that newspaper is just not to report the news. It has to be part of the dialogue. It has to create a dialogue. And this is one of the duties for any publication. As you know that now we talk about Brexit and the consequences of this. And in the GCC in Saudi Arabia, we have a very close relation with Europe, with the UK, and we slept. It was one night we slept. It was one unit, and we woke up. We found two.
We all went to sleep that way. We woke up the next day with something else.
So it was something that, of course, there are some consequences will come as a result of this.
Brexit means Brexit. You know, we've got to respect the will of the people that voted in the referendum. However, what she was very clear about as well was that we are going to make a success of this. What we can't tell you is what it will look like on the other side at the end of the negotiations. Our economy and the fundamentals of the British economy are very strong. In terms of the growth, in terms of G7 and G20, we are in the top 2 or top 5. So all the principles, the fundamental basics of having a strong economy to take forward through this period of uncertainty are there.
There is a point on which I agree completely with my colleague and colleague, but
sitting very close.
That we have to make this period of uncertainty as short as possible. The problem for economies, for businesses, is the uncertainty. So we have insisted since the vote of the Brexit in the UK on the necessity to open the negotiations as quick as possible to have a definition of the rules of the game. But in our view, Great Britain remains a European country. Great Britain remains a big partner. It's one of our biggest partners economically for France. And we want to define how we should continue this relation. Our British friends to make their ideas clear on what they want and to open the Article 50 negotiations be the shortest as possible. We know it needs time. We don't want to push for tomorrow. We know it needs time, but we want this time to be used as fast as possible. And then we shall see what are the rules of the game.
What do you think about the future? And do you take it seriously that maybe the EU itself might be something history later?
I think the problem for Euro is not the Brexit as such, but the problem of the economic crisis as a whole and crisis of some financial crisis in some of the members.
My issue, about banks, I can only answer quoting what the Minister of Finance, our Minister of Finance, Carlo Padoan, just said at the G20, where actually also Saudi Arabia was part, that there is no systemic problem of Italian banks. There are some individual problems of individual banks that actually are being reabsorbed by the market, already addressed by the market itself, without a need of rescues and government interference. So there's not a systemic problem about it. And actually it is not an outcome of the Brexit. This is important to say. That was a problem that was there before. And actually what we are asking to observers is to look at the trend. It was a problem that was there before, after the financial crisis. And now the trend and the Italian banks are getting stronger, not weaker.
Though we believe in the fundamentals of the UK, they are very strong, but again, you cannot move forward by looking backward. Because this is new era, we have to see what they're going to do, and especially are they going to welcome the new investors?
They have to leave, and the British who are living in other countries, they have to leave. So I don't know when it will be.
That's not coming from us, and that's not coming from our European colleagues. So who's coming up with that? Maybe it's the media, I don't know.
See the rights of the people that are, European people that are residents there and British people residents in the EU. And they're trying to reassure, in every case, about, at least the rights of the people, European people that are already resident there.
Europe, including Great Britain, which is a European country anyway, is a place of rule of law. So established rights, established people, they will have a system to keep their rights.
Well, first of all, what's very surprising that outside of the UK, since the Brexit, markets haven't been volatile after the initial few days. Markets are higher, stock markets are much higher, asset prices are higher. So you've got to put it into context. You've got UK real estate and sterling on one side, and that's taken the brunt of the initial reaction. But in markets in general, they've been positive. Why is that? You look at it, and when you look at markets, you look at it in a number of ways. You look at one, the economic impact, two, the financial leverage impact. Economic impact is minimal in terms of percentage exposure to GDP. Secondly, the financial market leverage exposure to the UK market is absolutely minimal as well. And that's where you get a response like we did, not the initial days, but after that you get realization of what it actually is. And we're in an unknown at the moment.
Firstly, 52% of the Leave campaigns facing 48% for the stay. So it's not really like 75 or 25% where you can say the majority want to leave. So this is unfair to the ones who want to stay. The ones who voted leave are the elderly people. And the ones the young generation who are the producing workforce will get stuck with that decision.
That's an important point. Yeah.
Thirdly, the two leading politicians, Nigel Farage and Boris Johnson, who were waving the Leave campaign, quit politics. Okay, Boris Johnson now, he's your boss and he's the head of the foreign ministry.
Quit politics? Sorry, we're not going to quit politics. He quit the leadership race.
His minister.
Yeah, but
He's foreign minister now.
Yeah.
He didn't quit. He quit the race. Now this, of course, is an internal conservative.
But does that,
policy.
anyway, to answer your question, definitely there are positive outcome of this Brexit, i.e. weaker pound will encourage residential buyers to now explore opportunities in the market. Obviously, there are cheaper real estate targets in the UK, mainly in London, than before. Furthermore, tax is going to be changed, maybe from 20% to 15%. Even the stamp duty will be also modified in the interest of those buyers.
Move from London to Paris.
Paris, yeah.
Because they were in London to attack the European market. To attack European markets, it needs to be Europe. Okay. But they will need to remain on the British market. So let's be cautious about what we see for the future, both for our British colleagues and for European colleagues, is to work so that Europe as a whole, London and Frankfurt and Milano and Paris remain financial center for the world. And it doesn't go to Tokyo or other places.
The only clear indicator that we've really had that we can read between the lines in terms of why people voted this way in the referendum, and I think our Prime Minister has said it, is that it was a clear indicator that people want controls on the number of Europeans coming into the UK. I think that's the clear indicator. Everything else, I think, again, is speculation.
Okay, don't forget, Paris is the first destination for touristic destination in the world, including for British people. Think about it.
Yeah. By the way, Patrick, I'm not worried about the UK Brexit. I'm worried about the Brexit, not the Brexit, the French Brexit after the French election next year, and the German as well. So we have two coming up elections.